Hey guys, Dr. Dawn Nicole here, CEO of ProcuraFind, and today I want to talk about why a company like Netflix will continue to make billions even though customers complain about the quality of certain movies. And in this example, I'm going to use the example of how people continue to complain about Tyler Perry and his rushed movies through his Netflix deal that continue to make moviegoers mad when they watch it on Netflix, but yet Netflix continues to make millions, if not billions, by such movies. So again, if you don't know who we are and what we do, at ProcuraFind, we develop and connect small businesses to corporate contracts faster. And typically this comes with a lot of concepts, a lot of theories that we teach. And today I want to talk about why customer satisfaction is not always the ultimate goal over customer consumption. So I'm going to say it again. While customers complain, producers like Tyler Perry and Netflix continue to make millions, right? Even though the quality in some cases continues to be poor. So regardless of how you feel, and first let me set this up. For those who do not know who Tyler Perry is, for this example, he is a billionaire movie mogul, right? He got his start in the Medea stage plays back in the 90s, which quickly evolved to films and movie deals. And today, he's one of the most well-known Black American producers, if not American producer, wildly successful. However, it does not come without controversy where people feel that he is not putting out the best quality films. So that said, recently he got a deal, a multi-movie deal with Netflix, where this is a straight up deal, right? A direct deal, if you will. Liken it to a sole sourcing contract opportunity. Means that Tyler Perry is sort of under the gun, if you will, to produce movies quickly to meet his quota. Okay, now, as a result, there is a lot to be said and to be desired for, honestly. People who are staunch moviegoers and even producers themselves and filmmakers are huge critics of Tyler Perry, saying, hey, the makeup is too much, or the storylines are sort of watered down. There's no depth, right? You're giving us the same old thing. You're not digging deeper. Meanwhile, Tyler Perry is laughing all the way to the bank. So the question here is, how does a business entity like Tyler Perry's film studio and production studio continue to make millions with lackluster quality? Here's why. So a company like Netflix is an at scale, right? When you think about a streaming app, their goal is not to give you one or two quality films. In fact, their goal is to be the go-to movie streaming app to produce quantity and quality. So they really make their money off of quantity. Tyler Perry is one of thousands of producers on their platform that they have these deals with. And if you look at Netflix's mission, their mission is about giving you original content, right? They never say anything about customer satisfaction. And the reason for that is they pride themselves on the ability to quickly bring in original content that no one else has but Netflix, which means you can only exclusively get it from Netflix. And when you see deals like this, you will sometimes see that customer consumption is bigger than customer satisfaction. Now, what is consumption? Consumption is the rate by which you can consume product content, right? Content, whatever the content is, right? Whether it's makeup, how fast are my customers consuming the makeup? That means how fast are they buying it? How fast are they clicking on it? And what's happening is when Tyler Perry produces each new movie, just out of interest alone, right? Whether you want to call them looky-loos or fans, people are coming to his movies. They're clicking on the title, you all, which is a KPI, a key performance indicator for Netflix. How fast are you clicking on the title? Which means, will it go number one in the first weekend? And if so, Netflix will consider that a success. Now, whether or not you liked it remains to be seen. So I'm going to break in and say this one thing, because I don't intend to imply that Netflix and Tyler Perry don't care at all about customer ratings, customer quality, or satisfaction. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is it is quite standard and typical for a business model that is an economy of scale model, large masses, right? A model like Netflix that has to please many palates, right? Many appetites of quality, right? It is very typical that they use an 80-20 scale. Now, an 80-20 model or an 80-20 scale, I'm sure you've heard of this before, is where 80% of the content is good. It's higher caliber, it performs very, very well, and it more than makes up for maybe the lackluster 20% that's not so good. And the thinking is that in this machine, this economy of scale, as long as 80% of this content does really, really well, it performs high, it performs just on par to what we thought, then 20% is not so bad. And you have to think Netflix has so many options, right? So much original content that just as fast as you didn't like something, you're probably going to find 4 things that you do like. And well, this balance is kind of what makes the world go round, right? They don't put as much weight in you liking it, right? The satisfaction part as they put into the consumption. And we see this with companies who are producing content at scale, much like a buffet, guys, right? America loves buffets and the world loves buffets, no matter how you feel about it. I mean, if you're a little bougie like me, you like to order your own stuff, but I'm just saying there's no shortage of buffet lovers. And everyone knows that the more you offer a buffet at scale, at large, that means for multiple people, when the goal is quantity over quality, you will sometimes get a suffering on the quality side. However, this is not impacting the bottom line of Netflix. And so while the average customer, the moviegoer, the movie watcher, the fan will complain, oh, thumbs down, I didn't like this, and it makes for good blogs and great conversation, it will not impact, I repeat, it will not impact the bottom line of Netflix and Tyler Perry for that matter, because his deal is about consumption. It's about producing original content as fast as possible to make the deal. And they know that if you click on it, the more people who click on it in the first week will increase the algorithms, will put it in more living rooms, and they're measuring who watched it, not necessarily who liked it. So if you look at Netflix's mission, although they have a mission to produce original quality content is what they say, quality is really in the eyes of the beholder, right? What's quality to you might not be quality to her or him. So that's really subjective. So instead they are measuring what is measurable, and that is how many watches, how fast, and you all are feeding that beast when you watch it, whether it's because you enjoyed it or you are watching it to criticize. So in conclusion, just know that if you're Netflix, you're laughing all the way to the bank. You're making money and you're hitting your strategic goal. And this is an example of how sometimes the goal, right, is different than the customer end game. Okay, so it is actually a smart, brilliant move for a Netflix, which is a billion-dollar company, and we can learn some things. Whether you agree or not, this is how the world works when it comes to business and major players. I hope that this was helpful. If you learned a lot, if you found this interesting, do subscribe and check out the new book, Be the Contract Winning Supplier, where we give you the guide from beginning to winning on how to win the world's biggest contracts in all 4 sectors: the corporate sector, local contracting sector, state sector, and federal, all in this book. Okay. All right, you guys, if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe and check us out on the next video. Take care. Bye.